Do you know what employers are looking for when they hire science, technology, engineering, and math graduates? Let's talk about it. And that's a great question. What are employers looking for? Hi, my name is Mitchum. I work for a local utility, an electric utility here in Dallas, and I manage cybersecurity for them. I basically sit behind my desk. I'm looking for all the bad guys trying to get in, trying to shoot lasers at them when they come in. Okay, maybe not shoot lasers, but it's a very important job. It has a lot of different facets. I have an engineering background, but so much of what I do from day to day is not just about what my background is in school. In fact, there is so much more. And so I thought, after talking to professors, after talking to colleagues, after talking to students, and being a student myself, what are employers looking for? How do we hire people from the perspective of the business world? And what can students do to either better their skills or look at different ways to make themselves distinguishable from their peers? And let me tell you, it doesn't always just start with having the best technical knowledge of your specific focus area. And that's what I wanted to talk to you a little bit about today, and hopefully shed some light so that you too can understand what are they looking for, and how do you get a job? And how do you get a job that you would both like and be successful at? And how can you be successful in these fields? But in the real world, it's a different approach than maybe what you would think. Yes, absolutely, we need technical skill, especially within the science, technologies, engineering, math. Those fields are even more technical than some others. But there are so many facets to any business and to making it grow and to making it work even day to day that I just wanted to talk about a few of those things. So really, there are three basic skills. Okay, nerd alert. Anyways, I was just going to bring over a whiteboard, but well, never mind. Now that you know the three skills, well, they might have gone by rather quickly. So number one, soft skills. What does that even mean? Well, let me tell you a little bit about it. See, most engineers and some scientists and people who work with technology and a lot of mathematicians, well, how do you say they're introverts? Maybe not the most outgoing of people. Or maybe they're outgoing but have a hard time describing what they do or know or love to do to other people. So soft skills is really more about not just presentation skills, although those are critically important, especially in the business world, but it's also actually discussing what you're doing with other people from all different works of life from your business world so that they understand what you're doing, so they understand what you're up to. It may not be able to be as technical as you'd like to tell them, but you have to be able to come to this common ground to explain what you're doing. In fact, what happens if you get a project and it has technical issues in it, but you need legal or you need advice from somebody else in HR, or you need something that goes beyond your skill set? Well, if you have to describe that to them, and let me tell you, you will, then this is part of the function of being so incredibly important, of knowing how to interact with people and be able to communicate well, because communication truly is the key. Number two, critical thinking. Wow, this is a huge one. This is being able to go beyond just having something handed to you and you being able to work on it and provide some kind of successful report or implementation of what you were provided. But what happens if you get a project and the parameters are so wide, they're so varied that you don't even know where to start? Well, you have to be able to ask questions. You have to analyze, what is that person who is giving you the project, or what project have you even come up with on your own? What are the parameters of that so that they influence and affect the other people around you, the other parts of the business? How do you know what they really want? Well, you have to go out and discuss it. Well, that kind of lends back to soft skills and communication. But really, analytical thinking gives you the ability to dive deep into what you're talking about, into what others are talking about, or to really truly understand what they're talking about. Those are really important factors in knowing any kind of project, being able to take it forward, and even in day-to-day items, especially within very specific technical fields, you need to have these critical thinking skills to be able to successfully come to a conclusion or be able to move forward with whatever hypothesis or remediation or obligation you have for this project to make and see it through. And the final one is time management. It's also project management, because really what you find is those things go hand in hand. And so really time is such a critical thing. Any employer is looking to hire somebody who knows that they can stay on top of projects or even deliverables that might have to be done in between the project being due. Sometimes in school you don't have that. Sometimes there are fluctuating dates or there's some freedom there. But what happens in business if you have a $10 million fine if you can't finish your project? Well, that's kind of harsh, but sometimes that can happen, and depending on what it is, your job is really at stake. Can you perform? Can you do the things that you're being asked to do? Those are critical, and so for an employer to see that, yes, you know how to do things, you are keeping on top of things, you're being informative, you're being able to handle the time that you have to work on a project in a manner that's worthy of that company's time and efforts and money to pay you for it. And these are big things. These are what employers look for. And that was just a summary of the skills. Really take a look at some of the other resources that are out there. Professors are going to have those posted, and there's plenty of information with a simple search on the internet for these skills. But take a look at them. Really try to develop them, because technical skill is an incredible thing to have. And so knowing your different areas are critical. But employers are looking for so much more, and really and truly, they're looking for somebody who's well-rounded. And that really means all these different areas. And so they want somebody who can fit the culture, who can jump in and communicate well, who can learn fast, and who can take what you do know and skills that you do have and be able to implement them for the company's benefit, so that everyone around you gets to see these kinds of benefits that you've brought to the table. And that's what distinguishes you, and that's what employers are looking for. So I hope this was insightful. I hope you take these to heart and really are able to use them, implement them, grow, and be chiseled into people who have a lot of different skills and not just one, because that matters a great deal. And so I hope that this gives you a perspective from an employer in the business world today, and that you get to understand all the different facets of what it takes to come to work for a company and what people are really looking for. Thanks so much for your time. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great day.